Hey everyone, it's Ace. Welcome back to another video. EA is gonna stick to the $70 price tag for standard edition of Battlefield 6, and they're looking for a new narrative director and so much more in today's video. If you're new here, hey hello, my name is Ace. I post 2 to 3 Battlefield videos a week and I play every Battlefield game that is available to me until Battlefield 6 is out. So if you want to keep in touch with the game and Battlefield in general, please consider leaving a like, subscription and a comment for future content. If you're not aware about the recent controversy about the price increases after Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, Microsoft also tried to jump on the bandwagon, and basically both of those companies want to increase the pricing of their games from $59.99 or $69.99 to 70 or 80 euro, from 80 to 90 euro or even upwards for some other editions. With that happening and unfolding, everybody thought EA, because this is EA after all, is gonna do the same thing with Battlefield 6, and the standard edition of Battlefield 6 is gonna cost like 80 or 90 euro. They have now debunked that in the EA investors call that happened a couple of days ago. This comes directly from the heads of EA. So let's check out what they say. They said, addressing investors during a Q&A portion of EA's latest earnings conference call, CFO Stewart claimed the publisher currently has no plans to increase the cost of its games, even as the likes of Microsoft and Nintendo jump to $80. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to do it, and they're going to stick to the 70 euro price tag for standard edition. Andrew Wilson, this is the current CEO of EA, said EA is a far different world than just 10 years ago. We now have pricing representing everything from free-to-play all the way to digital deluxe edition and beyond. While it's true that selling physical copies of games in plastic boxes in retail shelves is a part of our business, it's a significantly smaller portion of our business. Well, if you are looking to buy also the physical copy of Battlefield 6, here's the confirmation from the man himself that is also going to be available. However, since EA is a business and Microsoft and Nintendo is a business, and if EA is going to take a hit of not increasing the pricing of the standard edition of Battlefield 6 and perhaps some of its other editions, we never know, perhaps they would increase the pricing then of the Battle Pass and then use that as an excuse to say, hey, the Battle Pass is going to be 10 or 15 euro more expensive because you got the standard edition for free, so take it as you will. I'm actually okay with this. I don't plan to buy any Battle Passes unless the game is out of this world, insanely good and fun to play, like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 1 or BF4 or any of the older Battlefields. I'm not planning to buy it, especially not at some ridiculous price points, like 15, 20 or 30 euro. So for 10 euro, perhaps I would buy it, although I don't really care about skins. Most of them are combat skins, unless they're going to do what Call of Duty plans to do, or according to the recent leak in my other video, I talked about it, where they plan to include limited time game modes into its battle passes. Only then would I maybe have to be forced to buy a battle pass. Here are the poll results I ran a couple of days ago, what you would be willing to pay for Battlefield 6 on the screen right now. 8% of you would pay $99.99 for it. That's crazy. We're talking here about standard edition, so I'm sorry if there was confusion here. The poll was about standard edition. If you would be willing to pay this much for standard edition, that is bonkers. Then we have 2% of you, only 2%, who voted for 90 euro for standard edition. 24%, small majority, voted for 80 euro, not quite 70 euro that the game is going to cost. But most of you would be willing to pay only for the lower price and not the upper echelon prices. And then overwhelming majority, 66%, voted for 60 euro, the original price of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. If I could vote on my own poll, I would also vote for that edition as well. And 776 of you voted for this and left 30 comments discussing the pricing of the game. So we are not quite close to 60 euro, but we are not also at 79.99. The game is going to cost 70 euro if we are going to trust EA's CEO word about it. So 70 euro, I think I'm okay with this as well. Obviously not happy, I would pay 60, but 70, if the game is extremely good, I think I will forgive this time around, but we will have to see, of course, how the game plays out. So I want to thank everybody who voted in the poll so I can run this and we can really see where our headspace is about Battlefield 6. Now, this next piece of news had me a little bit concerned because I was under the impression that the single player was already finished for Battlefield 6 and now they're looking for a narrative director. If I'm not mistaken, Marcus Leto, the creator of Halo, was the old narrative director of Battlefield 6. If you guys remember, a year or a year and a half ago at this point, he had a falling out with EA and he left the company and left some harsh words about EA. I was under the impression that they already had another narrative director. This could maybe show that the person who replaced Marcus Leto also left, or I don't know why they're looking for a narrative director, but here is their ad. The narrative director will be responsible for directing our efforts to create a coherent fiction for our world. The role we have broad influence, from contextualizing our gameplay to defining game's voice, to directing our writing team to deliver a strong core story. This is what I meant with the single player. I thought the single player was already finished, or are they going to release single player in parts? I'm not sure how this is going to work, guys. The reason I'm kind of concerned about the single player is, of course, single player isn't what defines Battlefield, but it does give this feeling that the game came complete and that didn't slack in any areas. And I also believe that single player is very important for the marketing of the game. How many of you who never played Battlefield before Battlefield 3 got very impressed by the game when you saw the jet mission or the tank mission, Thunder Run mission, or maybe the Russian mission in Metro? Those were like the things that baited people in to come try the game, and I really believe, truly believe, that this was one of the core reasons why Battlefield 3 had such a successful launch and a lot of sales, in my humble opinion. So I'm not sure why they're looking for a narrative director and why they need to now deliver a strong core story. I thought it was already delivered and it's coming on launch. So I'm pretty concerned about this. You have to let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. They continue, we're looking for a candidate who is willing to explore avenues that put more of the story into the player's hands while still delivering on narrative beats that contextualize and motivate the actions of our player and the character they are playing. If you are that person, you can apply for a job. I'm pretty sure they pay well. You're going to have to probably move to North America where EA is based, or you can work from home. So if you want, you can apply. I'll try to find the application thing and leave it in the comment section for you guys. So yeah, this is the news about the narrative director. Like I said, this news is kind of concerning. I'm not sure what happened after Marcus Leto left. They never announced a new narrative director, at least not what I have saw. If you know who the current narrative director is of Battlefield 6 or was, so the person who came after Marcus Leto, please let me know in the comment section. Tomorrow, so the 9th of May, Friday, is going to be the biggest playtest Battlefield has ever done, in my opinion, because they're inviting a lot of people, as they said in their blog post that I said that 2 days ago. We're going to have to see if there's going to be any leaks, of course, which we know there's going to be. I mean, at this point, I'm convinced EA is also leaking things themselves, so they don't have to pay for much marketing. I'm kidding, but it could be a possibility. We're going to see what they have cooked up now, that there's going to be way more people testing Battlefield 6. Perhaps if you get in it, you can also check how the game feels. The map, we don't know what map they're going to be playing. I hope it's going to be some big map, and like I said in many of my other videos, I hope to test now Breakthrough and some of the other modes. We have seen Conquest now 3 times in a row. Would love to see Breakthrough. I wish them all the best tomorrow in the playtest. If you're going to be in the playtest as well, hope you have fun. I really hope the game delivers on your expectations, at least somewhat half of them. I think if it's going to be delivery of half of your expectations, I think this is pretty solid after Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 5, because yeah, it wasn't good. So yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about the single player not being in motion, but the rest, it looks solid. The game costing 70 euro or dollars looks okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks promising. So tomorrow I'm also going to have a video, of course, about all the leaks, if there's going to be any. If you enjoy watching this video, then please, if you're a regular sub, consider leaving a like and comment for the algo. If you're new, then consider subscribing, because I post a lot of Battlefield content and I talk a lot about Battlefield 6 and so on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.